Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello dear friends, welcome back to Spiritism and the media here on Kardec Radio. Today I would like to bring as our main study here the book Happy Life. Usually I bring this book as a last message to our meeting, but today I would like to bring it first because it is a text that we can use this lesson when we are talking about media, so that's why I'm bringing that. So the book Happy Life by Joana de Angelis through the medium Divaldo Pereira Franco, number 89. So let's see what Joana de Angelis has here for us. She says, if you have nothing helpful to say, say nothing critical. There are two kinds of conduct, the one that accomplishes and the other that finds fault, criticizing, and making other people's lives miserable. Do what is possible, expecting neither applause nor criticism. Join the group that operates and speaks with the loftily objective of being useful. If those who claim to know how things are done would stop talking and start doing, the world would be a different place. So let's read again part by part. And let's just think a little bit how we can connect that to our daily lives when you talked about media, about social media, when you talked about the way that we communicate with each other. So the first one here, if you have nothing helpful to say, say nothing critical. So let's be silent. If there's nothing that is going to help others, do not criticize the others, do not judge. Because it's very common, especially we already talked about gossiping here, especially when we are with a group of people, when we want to talk and we come talking about others, and many times we like to criticize, we like to come and point the faults that we see that other people have. I'm saying that we see because it's to our eyes, because it's according to our own judgment. So many times we just criticize others and we are not helping them. One thing is when we come to someone and try to help that person, we may say, look, I see this thing that we did, but I didn't like it, or you hurt me a little bit, but why don't you try to do that? And give an option, and let's talk about how we can make it differently. But the other thing, when we only criticize, when we only point the mistakes without helping the person to overcome the mistakes, to not helping the person to make it differently. So let's try not to do that, because let's do unto others what we like them to do unto ourselves. Do like when someone comes to us and just criticize and just point our mistakes, our vices, what we have, our faults that we have, without helping us. Personally, I don't like. I prefer when someone comes and try to help me, try to say something that is actually going to help me to overcome some difficulty that I am having, and not pointing that difficulty to me. So let's try to do unto others what we'd like them to do unto ourselves. And then she says here, there are two kinds of conduct, the one that accomplishes and the other that finds fault, criticizing, and making other people's lives miserable. It's very common when we see today, especially when we see, talking again about gossip, we can see those gossip magazines, those gossip TV shows. They just go and talk about other people's life, making them miserable, saying that this or that actress is getting old, is different, and compare how they used to be in the past, how they are not, like criticizing the way they look today, or criticizing that they are not as successful as they used to be in the past, according, of course, as I said, to their judgment. So are we going to help that person by saying that? Are we helping that person by putting those news out there? And are we helping that person and ourselves by watching those shows, by reading those magazines? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves. And if the answer is no, so why am I watching that? Why am I reading that? Why am I bringing that energy, those words to my life? Because as we see in the past few programs about, and many times we talked here about the power of the word, It's about connection. The same way that if I am allowing those words to come into my life, I am connecting to that energy. So if I'm allowing those criticisms to come here and to reach me, no matter if it is about other people, I am engaging to that lifestyle. So there will be spirits around me that are always also engaging to that lifestyles, and they are going to be connected to me. And then what happens, I call them obsessors and say they're trying to harm me, but the reality is that they are just spirits that think the same way as I think. So they are connected to me because they like to criticize other people's life, and they see that I like that too, so they're going to connect themselves to me. So the way that we have to avoid that is to change the way we think, to change our behaviors. And she says here, do what is possible, expecting neither applause nor criticism. At the same time is our what we expect when we do things unto others. Let's do what is good. Let's follow Jesus' example and not expecting that people are going to applaud, people are going to say thank you to us, people are coming to us and like putting us on a pedestal and say, okay, you're the best. We don't need that. We need to do the good because it's the right thing to do and not because we want people to praise us. So that's another point that we need to think. And she says here, join the group that operates and speaks with the lofty objective of being useful. If those who claim to know how things are done would stop talking and start doing, the world would be a different place. So many times action is better than words. We teach better with our examples than with our words. So that's a good thing for us to have in our minds as well. So as usual, usually I finish here our meeting with a text by the book Happy Life, but I brought the book Happy Life for our main study, so I'm reading randomly a text from the book Pills of Trust by Dias da Cruz through the medium André Moreira. So open randomly here. The real power, affection. Deluded by material things and limited by materialistic beliefs, humankind reaches out with eagerness to find happiness as advertised by the world's philosophies, trying to gain and accumulate possessions, titles, posts, golds, and shines. The diploma that makes our vain, and the command that makes others submit. However, being an immortal spirit and heir to the fertile source of infinite potential, the being becomes aware through the prod of redeeming trials that the real power is with God, and that the only real power of the Spirit is that of affection which touches the soul of each being, sowing hope, consolation, and direction, of bestowing joy, friendship, and blessings of many kinds that console and construct for eternity. When tired of suffering under the illusion of matter, the Spirit turns its attention to the battle of inner achievements through the efforts of self-transcendence, self-control, and above all, in the effort of synchronizing with our Supreme Source. These teaches one to love and serve, thereby finding the real power and importance of life. Thank you so much for your company. May God bless all of us. See you next week.